couple of years ago, I watched a farmer in the frozen tundra of the world joyfully pack loads of snow around her greenhouses to create a natural refrigeration system for her overwintered flower bulbs. It was in that moment I realized I'd been doing this all wrong. I had to change the way I viewed my most dreaded growing season, summer, in order to identify opportunities to leverage the offerings from nature in these months. I'm growing in the American South, Zone 8B, where it's not uncommon for it to consistently be well above 90 degrees Fahrenheit for most of the summer months. Each year, summer approached quickly and brought with it great anxiety for me. The weather, weeds, and pests made the season almost unbearable. I always hoped my plants survived and continued to produce, but hope is not a strategy. While I can't control the weather or wish the summer away, the season is fairly predictable in many ways. How can I more effectively use this peak heat to my advantage and continue moving my farms forward? Things are feeling more and more uncertain with each day that passes, but rather than focus my energy on all the things I can't control this season, I choose to focus on the things I can. Saving seeds. I believe that healthy food is a crucial currency, so I'm working diligently this summer to build up my seed bank. I'm obsessive about growing non-GMO heirloom seeds so that I can harvest and save my own seeds for future growing seasons. This summer, I'm processing all of my harvested seeds from this past winter and storing them in my seed fridge for the future. So far, I've finished processing my arugula, collard greens, red giant mustard greens, turnips, garlic chives, Wando garden peas, and fava beans. I've got quite the seed stash and still have even more seeds to process. I know to some people this just looks like a bunch of extra work. That it is, but my seed bank feels like real wealth and security to me. These are priceless. Sowing seeds. I am always sowing seeds. No matter the season, something can always be growing. I just have to learn what that something is. I spend a lot of time learning from other growers, researching varieties, and experimenting. Because I have a fairly long growing season, I do 2 rounds of summer plants, like tomatoes, beans, okra, and more. One in early summer and one in midsummer. By the time the summer heat is taking out my first round of plants, my second round is coming up strong behind them, and I'll be able to get another flush of harvest up until my first expected frost in mid to late November. In the summer, I'm also sowing seeds of perennial plants to increase my harvest for next year. So far, I've sown anise hyssop, self-heal plant, tulsi, black beauty eggplant, 4 varieties of basil, 2 varieties of sorrel, and 11 varieties of peppers. I also sow seeds for my winter plant starts at the peak of summer. I allow the seeds to germinate outside in a part sun situation, which is less than 4 hours of direct sunlight each day. And then I move them inside my house if I notice them struggling because it's gotten too hot outside for them. I've started 25 varieties of winter plants, including fennel, cilantro, parsley, cabbage, collards, broccoli, carrots, and more.
Large leaf sorrel is doing well. Those were the first to germinate. But now I see I do have some red vein sorrel coming up. Where is it? Oh, here they go. They're literally microscopic, but so are the seeds. So this is how they start. Teeny tiny like this. This is red vein sorrel. See my finger? Smaller than my fingernail. but they're coming up, and then eventually they'll start looking like this.
My goal is to have strong and healthy little plants for transplanting at the new farm once the weather cools. Propagating. Cloning my existing plants is a major part of my summer strategy. As I shared in a previous video, I'm propagating my strawberry plants right now heavy in preparation for next season's harvest.
Okay, so I am going to take a cutting from this orange balm just because I have multiple plants now and I've successfully rooted one cutting, so I'm willing to take a risk, and they're growing really well, so I'm going to cut this one and see if I can start another one. So normally what I do is this one, I usually would like the stem to be a little bit thicker, but I know it's a new one, and so it's not going to get much thicker than this. This is way thicker than the other ones, but I think it's thick enough because this one is about the same width as the cutting that I successfully rooted already, so I'm gonna do it. I always cut, let's see, above a leaf node and below one, like between two leaf nodes basically, where the leaves come out. So I'm gonna cut right here, and I'm just gonna leave just a little bit of the plant and let it regrow, and I'm gonna have all of this for cutting. And then I'm gonna trim all these leaves off, and everywhere these leaves are, it's a high concentration of the hormone that stimulates root growth, so I have a higher probability of getting roots to develop where the leaves are coming out of, where the leaf nodes are. So I want as many leaf nodes as I can get on here, so that's why I'm not going to cut like up here at the tippy top. And also I want this plant to grow more out instead of up. I don't want this long slender thing. So when I cut above a leaf node, or between two leaf nodes, where I cut right here, it's going to tell the plant to focus on concentrating out, you know, focus your growth out. And so then it'll be bushier instead of just straight up singular stem, which, you know, this is okay, but I prefer like low and bushy instead of just tall and lanky. Also, it obviously increases your production because the stuff going out is going to just be more vigorous. So I'm gonna take this cutting, which I can't do with y'all in my hand actually. So. All right, so like I said, I'm gonna cut between two leaf nodes because this has a lot of leaf nodes on them. So I'll leave plenty on for them to reproduce. I think I'm gonna leave 2 sets of leaves on. So I'm gonna leave this bottom and this one, and I'm gonna cut right here. Okay, so this is my cutting, my stem cutting, and then this is what I'm leaving on the plant to regrow. It's also still attached to this one, so it's got plenty of leaves left to continue to photosynthesize and continue to grow. Plenty of growth. And then this should be plenty of growth for me to also develop some roots and get a cutting. So all I'm gonna do is just snip off all these bottom leaves. I'm gonna use these for a tea later. Yum. I'm taking off, oops, sorry, you didn't see all that. Taking off all these leaves. All of them except the very top set I removed. So now it's just basically a little naked stem. And then all of these little nodes, where leaves were, have a potential to develop roots. Normally the roots come like at the bottom little portion, but I'm gonna put them in water up to here. So I have 1, 2, 3 sets of nodes underneath the water. So I have a better chance of getting at least one of these to develop roots. And then I have this much above the water. And so I'm gonna put it in a cup, sit it on my windowsill, and we'll see how long it takes to develop roots. So here in my living room, I keep a basket of used bottles and stuff that I use them for propagating mostly, or seed harvesting or whatever I need them for. So here's a basil pesto, old bottle that I used to have. I don't buy that anymore because now I grow it and make it. And I'm just gonna, I got my little, my orange balm cutting. I'm just gonna fill this up with filtered water. That's plenty. I don't want the whole stem underwater. I just want like my 3 leaf nodes, because if the whole thing's under, it might rot. So let's see. That's, oh yeah, she's good. I actually have 2 nodes. 1, 2. Oh no, that's 3. That's good. That's good. Okay. And then all I'm gonna do is sit this little cup of water here on my windowsill. I'm gonna put a label on it so I remember what day I cut it and what it is, because by the end of summer, this windowsill is gonna be filled and I may not remember what everything is. So anyway, I'm gonna put a label on it, and then I'm gonna keep watching it. Usually I just keep looking every morning to see if roots start coming out of it, and I'll try to remember to give you guys updates so you can see the root development as well. But right now, as you can see, it doesn't have anything on it. It's just a little stem. We're gonna leave it in water and we should have roots in a couple of weeks maybe. Let's see. And the roots are gonna come out of where I cut the leaves off. The leaf nodes are the highest concentration of hormones to re-stimulate root growth. And so that's where I'm gonna, I probably could have cut this into 2 cuttings, but I'm gonna do 1 big cutting. 1 long cutting. That's it. Now I'm just gonna give it some water and let it sit here and grow some roots in the shade. And then these leaves I took off, I'm gonna eat.
This warm weather signals to the plants to grow like wild, and that they do. I take advantage of this by dividing and taking cuttings from my plants constantly, all season long, to multiply my plants for next year. Preserving food. At the peak of summer, I'm also very mindful of preserving some of the abundant seasonal harvest to be able to enjoy it during winter when it's no longer able to be grown fresh. I harvest herbs like oregano, mint, lemon balm, basil, garlic chives, tulsi, and more, all season long to hang dry or process in my dehydrator for preservation. Herbs are essential to my winter nourishment. As this is the season, I enjoy lots of soups, stews, and teas. This season, I only grow plants that love the heat. I will not fight nature to try to grow a crop that doesn't want to be here right now. I'm sure to lose that fight every single time. Instead, I grow heat-loving annuals, preferably drought-tolerant, like okra, basil, field peas, Cuban oregano, and more. This makes my annuals much more low maintenance, and I can focus on keeping my perennial plants alive until the temps become more tolerable for them. I regularly harvest what's available to make myself nutritious and delicious meals. I want to encourage you to not confuse availability with stability. The pandemic showed us how fragile the American food system is. And one thing we all know for sure is that we do and will always need food. If you're not growing something, I hope that this video will encourage you to grow something, anything.
This is my little morning harvest. I've got a mix of mint, I've got some garlic chives, some Egyptian onions, some cucamelons, and some Italian oregano. I'm gonna clean up and turn into something delicious.